Because we train students to be the best real-time writer they can be, they have the option of choosing court reporting, broadcast closed captioning, or CART providing. And with court reporting, a lot of people envision that you're sitting in a courtroom all day long just writing trials and hearings. But that's only one method of utilizing your real-time writing skill for court reporting. We also have freelance court reporters, and you're going to a different location every day.
Hearings, trials, depositions, litigation situations, medical examinations even that they use for trial. My schedule's much more flexible doing freelance reporting because I can take off when I want, even if it's just a half day or something.
It's a very exciting career for court reporting. You have a lot of flexibility. You may even travel internationally or across the United States to report some depositions in some high-profile case or a case that's maybe just very lucrative and the attorneys want you to be present for that.
It makes you feel good to get up every day and have a professional job to go to and really nice settings, working in courthouses, working in law offices, having something different to do every day. It's kind of thrilling. I've done depots in people's homes before. You never really know as a freelance reporter where you're going to be and what it's going to be like until you actually show up.
I always enjoyed working as a freelance reporter and then working in the court system because you got to see the trial play out, to see what happens in the end.
Well, I've never done official court reporting, but you are hired by the courthouse itself and you work under a specific judge, and it's more of a 9 to 5 schedule. Most of those are salaried positions.
They call real time when you're providing instantaneous translation to all parties involved in a case, in a deposition to all the attorneys or in a courtroom to the court.
Whereas as a freelance reporter, I'm basically paid job by job and have a much different schedule. It's not a 9 to 5 situation at all. Some days I'm not reporting jobs, but I'm at home editing. Other days I've got one job in one location and then I've got to zip over to the other side of town and report something else at the end of the day. So that's probably the main difference between those two.
Broadcast closed captioners are paid an hourly rate, depending upon the number of hours they work. Generally speaking, 30 hours per week is a full-time broadcast closed captioner.
As a broadcast captioner, we provide captionings for the deaf and hearing impaired, for live programming on television.
And we've all seen the captions on television where the words scroll across for people to read, whether you're hearing impaired or not, but it specifically was developed for hearing impaired persons.
I'm not sure if you're aware that it's an FCC ruling that all live programming on television must provide captions for the hearing impaired. They have a very strong lobby in Washington, D.C., and it's up to the stations by law to provide the captioning. I do mainly the news programs across the country. When the news starts, I start with it. I don't know how to describe it. It's actually kind of sweet and it's kind of touching because you really, especially the smaller news stations, they really focus on community issues. And so I get to really know communities around the country. I start to feel like I know people there.
Live television programming, anything that's live. It could be a cooking program, it could be an evening talk show. In addition to that, we have, of course, stadium captioning, all of the sports, just so many opportunities available in broadcast closed captioning.
My day starts with sleeping in. And my shift starts at 5 in the evening. I chose that shift. And I chose nights because it gives me a lot of free time during the day. I live in Florida. We have wonderful weather most of the time. This career, quite frankly, is not for someone who wants to sit in an office and be told what to do. I treat myself as an independent business. I feel like I'm autonomous here. I feel like I'm running the show in my office. Actually, the company I work for is in another state. And I've never met my boss. I've never met the person that hired me. We strictly communicate mainly by email and text message.
You can reside in any state and be employed by a captioning employer in any other state in the United States. In fact, you could work for a captioning employer in Canada.
In fact, I don't even have any stations in Florida at the moment. I do one in Maine, and I have another one in South Carolina that I do every night. And I have other stations in Portland, Oregon, and Syracuse, New York. And then I can also get emergency assignments. If there's bad weather, tornado warnings in Illinois, like I think it was last week, I was doing a station in Illinois because they had tornadoes. Where I'm working, I'm respected. I'm treated very well. I know I'm appreciated. They thank me. I'm never ordered around. Even though when I'm on the clock, they ask me to do things, and I'm always happy to do it for them. And it's the way they treat me is really important to me. So that's an added bonus to the paycheck.
CART is an acronym for Communications Access Real-Time Translation. And that means that as we write on our steno machine, the words translate into English on a computer screen for a hearing impaired person to read and have the same access to the communication in the classroom as every other student.
It's mostly in like educational settings or in settings where there are large groups of people and they're like giving speeches or doing conferences.
CART providers often have a choice between working remotely from their home or going to the assignment. We've had CART providing students who have gone to work for UC Berkeley, for colleges and universities all over the United States and in Canada. We have a Canadian student who just completed her training who's working as a CART provider in Southern California from her home in Alberta. And that's one of the appealing factors, again, of these careers is that you have so much control, how much you want to work, how many hours, how many days. You have more flexibility than with most careers.